Welcome to the start of my new Minecraft survival series, Generation Survival. The main idea of this world is that I'll be trying to emulate a civilization expanding throughout the Minecraft world. I plan on spending a few episodes on a generation of people, setting up a small town and getting good gear before leaving and establishing a completely new settlement from scratch, and hopefully connecting the two at a later date. On day 1, I started, as most games do, by punching trees. I then mined some coal and stone, looked around the spawn area, and got some food. I'm really happy with the oceanside cliffs that I spawned on, and I think this would be the perfect location for the first generation to settle in. I also briefly paused my game to install a dynamic lights mod after the first day to make my caving experience the next day a little bit easier. I spent all of day 2 in the caves mining iron, copper, and coal. I didn't die once because I spent 10 years playing this game, and I would never die, especially to a skeleton, and definitely not twice. On an unrelated note, I am very glad that I decided not to play hardcore. Once I had enough iron, I crafted a shield and a chestplate to make sure that I could continue my 0 death streak. I'm using a resource pack called Spryzine's Night Armor, so the chestplate does look a little bit different, as you might notice. Afterwards, I continued mining for a little while until it transitioned into day 3. I spent day 3 mining more and got enough iron to make myself a full suit of armor. I then headed to the surface due to a lack of food, and got there with just enough time to set up a small camp before sleeping for the night. So this is awkward. I know it's a little early in the series to make this serious of a mistake already, but I completely forgot to record day 4. So I'm just going to do a quick summary and give you a tour with footage from day 5. I camped at the surface and set up a little wheat farm down on the beach. I then got some more food, smelted my iron, and ran to a nearby forest to cut down some trees. I also grabbed some sheep and put them in a pen to gather wool. As of right now, my plan is to start off this settlement with a tent, because I don't have that resources to build a real house yet, but I do want to have a shelter by the end of the episode. Finally, I just went around and lit up the area with torches to prevent mob spawning. So on day 5, I began constructing my tent. I built a frame for it out of birch because I didn't want to use oak, and unfortunately, I don't have any other wood for it yet, so birch it is. Anyways, I finished the frame and then decided it was too short, so I had to go get more birch in order to make it taller. I do like how it turned out, but I still need for my wheat to grow so that I can breed the sheep and get more wool to finish the canvas of the tent. On day 6, I spent most of the day just hanging around and killing time. I used bone meal to accelerate the growth of my farm because I have no patience, bred the sheep, and made sure to look away, give them their privacy, of course. And also turned up my render distance to see what I could see in the distance. I also went down to the water for my farm and was temporarily entranced by how cool the Fresh Animations resource pack is as I watched the salmon jump out of the water. The only other interesting thing that happened on day 6 was that I went into a cave because I was bored and a skeleton almost shot me off a ledge directly onto a creeper, which could have potentially given me my first death of the series. Thankfully though, I don't make mistakes and easily survived and didn't panic at all, and thus concludes day 6. On the last day of my first week, I finished my tent. While waiting for the sheeps, I've got an error in my script. I think the plural of sheep is just sheep, isn't it? While waiting for the sheep to regrow their wool, I set about decorating the interior. The tent was a little bit too small to fit my chests along the wall, so I came up with a way to set them up against the ceiling and still be accessible. I then realized that I had the same problem with my bed, so I decided to set it into the ground. But if I did that, I wanted to change the grass to dirt, so I went and fetched some gravel from the ocean to turn it into coarse dirt. Once I'd done that, I also added some slabs to make the shift in altitude on the floor slightly more gradual. And with that, I think that is a good ending point for the first episode of Generation Survival. I didn't intend to play it for exactly an in-game week, but I might try and continue this pattern since it ended so nicely in this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want me to continue this series, and leave any feedback you have for me in the comments, as this is my first time trying to record a Let's Play. Thank you for watching.